What's going on, guys? It's Snoop603 from Shustybang, and I just want to go over a couple of topics today. First off, I want to cover the Symthic versus YouTube tournament that we just did, and I also want to cover two new series that, well, not new series, but kind of a reinvention of one, and bringing it back an old one that I did in Battlefield 3. First off, let's cover the Symthic versus YouTubers tournament. So for those that don't know what it was or missed anything about it from what I posted or what others posted that were involved in it, this was a tournament between Symthic.com, and if you're not familiar with that site, it's where we get all our information for our Battlefield 4 weapon reviews. They take all of the game data out, off the game itself, in this case Battlefield 4, and they put the actual hard game data down in an easy-to-use website so you know exactly what gun does what. And I was approached by them. They said, do you want to do a tournament? And you put together the YouTube team, and then I've got my team at Symthic, and we'll play against each other. I was like, yeah, sure. And it went over really well in the sense of everyone had fun. I gotta say, it was definitely a learning experience. And I wanted to actually recap it for two reasons. One, just to kind of share how it went, and two, to give us some insight into the planning process, everything that I went through. So that if any of you were to plan something similar to this in the future, hopefully it goes smoother for your first time around than it may otherwise. Overall, it was a fun experience. I learned a lot about helping to organize an event like this, and it actually didn't get stressful until the last hour before the tournament when people weren't there, and others couldn't get to the server. Some people weren't on TeamSpeak ahead of time. It was kind of like a last-minute clusterfuck, and I was the only one on Team YouTube that could really do anything. Like, I had a couple people, like Opponent, for example. She kind of had an idea as to what was going on with the whole planning process along the way, and she knew who was supposed to be there and stuff, so she was kind of able to help me out, but for the most part, there wasn't as much help as I would have liked, and that's my own fault. I don't blame anyone but myself for that, because I tried to bear the entire load on my shoulders. And like I said, I was fine up until that last hour, in which case it would have been really, really beneficial to have a second person that was familiar with the entire process from start to finish, there to help me, getting hold of people, making sure everyone was where they needed to be at that moment. Now, if I can give a little bit of specific advice to people that may organize something like this in the future, or be a part of an event like this, be communicative. As the organizer, you definitely want to be completely upfront and clear with what it is you have planned out for the event. So obviously be polite about it, but make sure that people that you're inviting know what you're expecting out of the event. Don't worry about, possibly pushing people off from wanting to be a part of it. It's actually better for those people to say no thank you and decline the invite than it is to have them show up and not do what you really wanted people to do. Now, I don't say that meaning I was displeased with anyone in this event, like not even in the slightest. I realized, and this is completely my fault, I took it a little too lightly. I didn't tell everyone what I expected because I didn't want to be that, that pushy guy saying, okay, this is what I want everyone to do and this is how it's going to be. But what ended up happening was what everyone was expected to do was very vague because I didn't give them a definitive answer as to what the point of the tournament was. I just kind of kept throwing out like, yeah, it's semi-serious, but it's supposed to be fun, but we want to win for bragging rights, and I kind of left it at that. Really, what I had in the back of my mind was I wanted to tell everyone, bring your try-hard pants because we want to fucking win this thing, and Team Symthic's going to bring their A-game. So I really expected the same of you. I didn't say that, and I regret not saying it because, again, there was just that ambiguity or the vagueness of the whole event. No one was really on the same page as far as like how serious it should have been taken. So it's something I learned, and I will not make that same mistake again for the next event that I organize. Now, as a participant, it's also important to be communicative as well. Respond as much as possible to the organizer, please, because you want to just keep them in the loop of anything that may possibly come up on your end that could impede your involvement in the tournament. If you have a suggestion or an idea for the team that could help out in any way, don't hesitate to share that in a constructive manner. No one's going to say no to any sort of constructive help or suggestions or opinions in any way. Again, as long as you keep it constructive, because you just might happen to think of something that they don't think of. So don't be afraid to speak up, just be polite about it. And again, I'm not saying anyone is mean in any way. I'm just thinking ahead for the future if any of you are ever involved in anything like this. Something very important you want to remember. Now, one of the problems we had was the lack of practice and game plan on my team. I take the blame for that because, again, I failed to really convey to the team what I expected from them in the tournament. I think we definitely had the skill there, but we lacked the experience. Individual or small-scale team skill is no match for full teams that, have that team cohesion and the coordinated, tested, rehearsed practice and tactics that Team Symthic had. I think had we been able to practice several times as a team, we probably would have done a lot better. Probably still would have lost, but it would have been closer, a better fought fight, from start to finish. All in all, again, it was a learning experience. I learned a lot tactics-wise I've never really thought of that I'm actually really glad that I was able to get that exposure of. But that's the tournament in a nutshell. I mean, I did enjoy it. I would do it again. And actually, we are in the works of planning another event as we speak, and we've already got our eyes on a third event, and I think you guys are really, really, really going to enjoy them. Now, the other two things I wanted to talk about was two series. One of the things we want to do is kind of a takeoff from the game speak, but I want it to be very, very informal. I don't want to make it kind of this big hoopla that, you know, it's got to go up every Friday at this time and blah, blah, blah. I want to have something where I can talk about absolutely anything I want and not have a set schedule to it. Just kind of like, this is something I really am either passionate about or overly stoked on, and I want to talk about it in depth with you and just share my opinions with you guys. But again, without that structure, I don't want to be tied into it because I want it to be something where it's something I just really, really look forward to. And it's a good venting tool, but, you know, in a positive or constructive manner. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to bring in this series eventually, and I don't know when, because again, there's no set in stone structure to it. It's just a matter of if I come up with something that fits the bill for this, it'll happen. And it's going to be called Shooting the Shit with Shusty. I know, right? Very clever. Huh? And it could just be us talking about anything. If it's something Battlefield related, then yeah, we'll probably throw up Battlefield gameplay behind it. But if it's something completely off topic that might just be gaming related or something, we'll probably just put a still image behind it, and it'll just be good commentary for you guys to listen to. And you can hear myself just talking about something, or you can hear the banter between myself and Fake Thriller, or us and a bunch of other people. There's literally no structure to it. We're leaving it completely wide open because that's what we want it to be. We want it to be something that you can just talk about anything with. And hopefully it's something you guys will enjoy. It's for the few of you guys out there that really just enjoy our take on everything in life, if you will, and our opinions on everything. You know, those that value what we have to say on anything. I think that'll be a series you guys really enjoy. Last but not least, anyone remember Weapon Request Live from Battlefield 3? I'm going to bring that back for Battlefield 4. If you guys want to see Weapon Request Live come back for Battlefield 4, I'm going to need you to hit me either in the comments on this video or on Twitter and just say, yes, I want to see it, and give me a full class loadout. Now, keep in mind, I'm only a rank 28 at the moment, so I don't have a ton of weapons unlocked. So for like the first maybe 4 to 6 weeks, it's going to feature some pretty basic setups. But after that point, it's definitely going to take off. I'm going to be able to do a lot more things because I'm going to have a shit ton more stuff unlocked. And then this is going to be one of those series that will definitively go up, like, you know, on a Tuesday at such and such time every single week. And that's going to be one of my few, like, legit has structure kind of series that we're going to do other than the weapon reviews. That's it. I'm done ranting and raving. Let me know what you guys think. Your best bet is actually to hit me on Twitter. Again, it's @Snoop603. I fucking hate Google+, and I really don't like responding to comments, but I do read them. So go ahead, leave a comment if you don't want to talk to me on Twitter. Otherwise, that's where you can find me. Thanks you guys for watching. Catch you later.